Okay. Looks like we're at 0%. There's a missile up there. If we're warping via mothership, we're right here. So this would indicate that we should go over here so we can intercept that missile. Enemies. Huh. Oh, right at 99. That missile's pretty far away, so we can get to the carrier. Full blast! I always think of that, basically. Not even necessarily thinking, like, of the scene in particular, but just the feeling of it. Obviously, I'm talking about Brawl. At least I should hope that's obvious. Aw. Why didn't that hill kill you? He's right behind the wall, even though we can see him quite plainly. It's quite silly. I killed everything, apparently. Whoops. But there's still something to be killed. Therefore, there's still something to amuse me with. Okay, so that thing's dead. So does that mean we get the medal? Does that thing not hurt you if you're the walker? It doesn't. It just shoves you aside. Okay, that's a major defensive advantage of using the walker. Good to know, like I like to say. You know, this kind of looks like the Majora's Mask room, where you're fighting like that thing that keeps it. It's Wizrobe, I believe. Kind of a weird Wizrobe, but Wizrobe. And there you have it. Time for some ASMR. Because I'm thirsty for water. Look at all the space. That thing can take something out. We can go straight to Venom. Now this thing. Die already. One minute exactly. In Star Fox time. You're Playtime is over. Destroy the weaklings. I hope there aren't power-ups that they have. Yeah, approaching this thing was kind of exciting at first, but they really don't make it too much interesting after the first one. Did I just get hit by something? Or was that just a grand illusion? Something hit me right there. What the hell? Stop it aiming for the... Whoa. Dang it. I seem to recall having an easy time with this thing. That thing's like a car. So that's how it moves. And it sends those things out kind of far out, I guess. Oh, you get super shield. Do we get more? Okay, we at least get an extra one, so I guess that makes it worth it. I do kind of want those power bombs, but I'll deal with it. Oh, there's a medal. Explosions. Now I'm wondering what that giant robot's after. Is it after me or the planet? It does look like it's after the planet. That's not good. Could have sworn that thing would always go after me earlier. Maybe it just goes for the closest target at the time. Looks like I should be hitting it at the weak point, assuming that is the weak point. Alright, bye Space Blade. Or Beyblade. I wonder if it's even worth it. Well, no. I think the high attack units are good early game, and then after that, it's better to just have, Should I go after this or the virus? Well, anyway, they're good early game because you can destroy stuff, and then later on the attack units are less useful, perhaps? Unless, like, they're how powerful they get from getting the upgrades that I've been giving to Peppy make them, like, really, really powerful. Like, Peppy seems really powerful, but maybe that'd be way more powerful, so maybe that'd be worth trying sometime. if there's nothing else to blow up, it doesn't seem like he has any SIPs to send. So if there's nothing else to blow up, I'm not even sure if it's worth going after this thing. Especially if I can use the mother SIP to warp. Switch unknown. Ah, yes. This one's pretty easy, actually, from what I can tell. Just kind of stay behind it and let the auto-lock take control. Whoa, I went in completely the wrong area, but that's okay. I think I have a good idea of where one might be. I don't think that helped anything. I think the charge shot in this game actually kind of looks more effective than 64's, though. Like, it looks really powerful. Just from looking at it, at least. Alright, there's one down. Oh. Oh, and the second target is just down there. Oh. I guess I should have gotten this thing before fighting the chicken. Wait. Okay, like that. And then it's the same thing. It just gives it the power-up in the air as well, so that didn't actually affect the fight at all. But it will affect our firepower in the air. Dang it. How'd that happen? Nothing over here. Check for those medals, I guess. Oh, right, the wall boss. Forgot about you. Bother. As far as Peppy's shields go, he's okay. Especially if he has the super shield. And now not so much, but he got some health back, so now he's good. It's about as good as you can be, I think. Up. And there we go. Oh, there was another medal back there. Bye, medal. You think Slippy could just go over to the right a little? I mean, did I say Slippy? No base needs no more missiles from, that something. Alright, now what? Do we really need to... Oh. Okay, so it does attack us. I wonder if it takes longer to charge up, but at the way things are going, I would assume not. like it probably takes less time than it does to charge up than normally would. That's got to look pretty horrifying to... Oh, wait, maybe they... Okay, this probably isn't a manned satellite. Probably isn't, I guess. But if it was, it's got to be horrifying to have, like, a foreign object take it over, and you gotta sit there and watch it destroy your home. I wonder what the T is. Well, anyway, I guess that kept us from getting, like, a perfect score, you know, if we're scored based off of the Corneria damage, so... Should have gone after that first. That was the better judgment, but, Here, may Star Fox, Star Fox will Wolf will defeat you. He looks kind of intense, man. I wonder if he's really any tougher. Worthless cowards, you act tough, but I'll destroy you. Pepper deceived you. I am the best pilot in Lilat. I can see that. Bye, Wolf. I'm impressed, Star Fox. You are talented. I shall crush you. Okay. I guess that fight's probably a little harder if you don't have the double blast, like the B-style blaster. Gwarg! Oh, we're warping right to him. I hope that means we healed. Here, I'll let you out. Oh, what, really? That didn't... Oh, hey, you can hit those things. I have a sneaking suspicion there won't be as many healing opportunities in here, so I should maybe be a bit more conservative. If any healing at all, that is. Did I do that? I don't have any bombs. The only problem is this base doesn't really look any special because it's basically the exact same as anywhere else. So can you break these things? What's the deal? I'm guessing if you go as, like, going through as the plane is hard mode. Like, I've kind of been doing that, but I didn't want to do it this time. It's just like, don't want to lose here. It's taking too long as it is, I think. This kind of seems like you can just kind of go however way you want. Like it's not linear or something. But it's not like, you know, you need to go everywhere. Could be wrong. Doesn't seem like there's any point in fighting them, though. Fox. He should sound a little, I don't know, different than that. That's more of a wolf sound, I think. Your forces certainly aren't. This is a lot easier than Star Fox 1. Oh wait, that's the real Andross, I think. What's that cube that was in Star Fox 1 that was originally protecting him? Why is he just a cube? Okay, bye. That music sounds familiar. I'm gonna turn up the volume on my end a bit. Vroom. Whoa, this looks like fun. You are the fool of Pepper. Okay. 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 Oh, he's down there. That's certainly different from the original, like, mask thing. Whoa, he's playing cards. That's the true form of Andross. And Peppy killed, Andross. That's cool. But like Wolf and Andross talking about how you're being played by General Pepper somehow. You almost didn't get out of that escape. Piece of cake. It kind of reminds me of Star Fox Zero. Like, I thought that they were being like more original with that, but it turns out they were actually just kind of going with this. Unless that dialogue didn't actually exist in this game. Like, maybe they'd made the game, but they didn't really make any dialogue, so they just decided to add it for this, but I don't think that's the case. I mean, I don't really know one way or another. Anyway, this isn't really the end. We'll figure out how to do this again on expert mode, and do it again. Let's probably collect all those medals, and obviously we missed that one. I didn't think they'd do it the same way twice. Sky Kicker. Security cross-check? What's a security cross-check? Executing staff role sequence. Ryoshi Yamauchi. Okay, so these are the old credits. They didn't, like, update these for Sugiharu Miyamoto. Anyway, for the SNES Classic. Okay, I don't need that to be that loud. Anyway, because if Yamauchi's name's gonna be on here, it's obviously older credits. Takumi Kawakute. Spiral Kite. This is like a Mario World credits. Well, I guess the other Star Fox game was like this too, I think. Yeah, we'll have to wait for the expert mode, see how that goes, but this definitely isn't as hard. It is, mechanically, it isn't as hard as Star Fox 1. That had a lot more dodging, like, objects, which is very hard to do and something that's not very responsive. But this was a lot more enemy focused, more mission objective, I guess you might say. Yumiko, which I think is probably for the best. It seems more focused that way, although the level designs are certainly not as interesting that way. I generally do prefer the Rails style of Star Fox games, because I have a feeling that face is going to be more complete if we play it on the hardest setting. But anyway, because, you know, I think the level's just better, more interesting that way. But at least comparing Star Fox 2 to 1, I think gameplay-wise, yeah, I should have not let that happen. Otherwise, we might have gotten like a perfect score. Or we would have gotten a B. I'm not really sure what else we could have done to get a... Oh, the time. Okay, so you don't get any kind of score at all if you get above 180, I guess. But I wonder if you get a better score for lower than... depending on how low it is. Right. Andross destroyed. Yeah, that's an obvious rank 1. It's double the score of the last one. All very close. I see E. So the first time we used a let's call it standard unit and defensive unit, and then we've been using high attack and high defense until then. Next time I'm obviously going to use Fox, you know, just to finish it off. And, maybe Slippy. I don't want to... I'd say Fox and Falco just because they're kind of a cool duo, but then it'd be the same kind of unit, which could work, but... Of course, we'd also fall into the same trap of... you know, like, Fox would almost be entirely... unless, like, middling defense and high defense is even more important than, it was in the more standard mode. I mean, Fox is just kind of hard to use because he's not really good at anything. He just isn't bad at anything. Like, so... Well, like I was saying... Well, another way of looking at it is... Maybe you need high offense in the hardest mode. Like, you know, you need to be really quick, because what makes it harder is that there's more pressure on you, so you need to take less time in the levels. Okay, so obviously we haven't unlocked hard mode, or expert. I have a feeling we need to collect those medals, so I guess I'd probably do that off screen. I know it said on the guide, the official Nintendo one, so it's not cheating. Well, like, you know, it's basically the same thing as the instruction manual you get out of the box. Whoops. Well, anyway, it said that, you know, you have to beat it on hard mode and with a certain condition. I'm pretty sure that probably means you get the medals, but it could also mean maybe you know, like Corneria doesn't take any damage. I kind of hope that's not it, because I completely flubbed that up at the last minute, because I could have easily done that if I had not, I could have easily done that if I went for the virus at first, like, instead, at the end of the game. Because that would have kept it from taking control of the satellite, and it wouldn't have fired on the planet. But I just didn't know that that would even happen, or if it did happen, that it would happen before attacking the final enemy. Like, I either should have done that or finished the game before that had the chance to happen, and I don't think that was something that was going to happen. But I did get the impression that if you do fight... Well, no. You, like, have to clear everything off of the level. Like, I don't know if we had beaten the Armada, not the Armada, the ship, or maybe it was the planet that was still left over, that was taken over by the enemy. Maybe if that had happened before the virus had a chance to take control of the satellite, maybe it would have made it so that you could move on to the boss, or fight Star Wolf, and then move on to the final boss and final level. But it kind of feels now like you just clear everything. Like, you don't really prioritize anything. Like, you don't necessarily say, take out the battleship and then leave things be. You just kind of take everything out except for the small enemies that the satellite can take care of. Yeah, so I guess we'll probably use Mew and Fox, and I think Fox will probably just end up getting the power-ups so that we're not having someone who's really defenseless, taking on most of the dangerous missions. And that's a reason to use the defensive units, because they're a little slower, but that doesn't really mean much. Unless maybe you use these guys as practice, but then you move on to maybe using one of these two to, be faster, and that's how you get the really good scores, and then maybe fall back on Fox and Falco as your semi-defensive unit. But, so they still have some firepower, but, just not as much as them, but certainly more than these two. Because it's mostly just the E-charge and the speed that would give them any offensive capabilities. I don't think that they're necessarily faster at... what is the difference in their ship designs anyway? I don't think there is a difference. It's not like sharper or anything. I do see that the white lines along the hull, they're like right angles, and then these ones go across like around. So the actual line, the design for the actual pixel art is more diagonal, but that's like a right angle almost. But anyway, oh, I'm just thinking. So I'm really just thinking about what strategy you'd like. Why would you really need these medium characters when they just don't seem to do a good job of anything? They just avoid doing a bad job. Avoid doing a bad job of these guys' lack of speed and charging up the missile attack, and avoiding the bad job of these guys' lack of defense, while also lacking their offense and lacking these guys' defense. Slippy looks pretty intense in this game. Anyway, my throat's starting to get a little sore, so I think I'm going to take a break and then figure out how to get expert mode, and then start working on that, and that'll be the LP. I think, unless the LP expert mode's harder, like a lot harder, this will be over a lot sooner than Star Fox was, I think, and that took a lot less time than I thought. Then again, it's part 6, and that only had like 9 parts, I think, maybe 10, and we're already like up to that. So maybe I've been doing this a lot longer than I thought. Depending on how you look at it, because I thought Star Fox lasted way too long. Longer than it should have. Like, it shouldn't have had so many retakes. This one's had a lot of retakes, but, it was kind of hard out the bat, whereas for Star Fox 1, you could take the easy path, and it's easier, but it's worth doing it because they're different levels. Whereas for here, it's kind of like you may as well skip the easy mode. I mean, maybe it would have been helpful for practice, but you can also just practice on the harder mode. Anyway, so we'll just get on to expert mode and figure out how to do that. I have a feeling it's collect the medals, Or maybe it's like you have to beat it as Fox or something. Because he's like the main character. You know what? I'll just look it up here. And then I won't say it in the next episode, I'll just say it here. Okay. I wish that it would actually tell you what the condition was for the Nintendo's official one, but I'll just put in Star Fox 2 Expert how to unlock expert mode in Star Fox 2. Complete hard mode with a B rank and don't let Corneria take damage. Okay. Okay, so I can press the back button, but I can't actually go out of this screen since it already got started. So let's take a look at the rank that I was able to achieve. I think it was a C. Was it going on to B? I think I probably would have unlocked it. Here it is. Okay, C rank. Whoops. One of those things where, you know, if you don't... okay, details. For that one. Okay, so Corneria damage 20%. I don't know what score that would have originally been, but if we hadn't let that happen, it would have met that condition, and it would have been B rank. So I have a sneaking suspicion that that was a major mistake letting that go through. So that's quite unfortunate. So we could have gone right into expert mode, but now I'm going to have to go out of my way to unlock it. Oh well. I'll just do that off screen since it's literally the exact thing. I don't even think we'd do anything different. Maybe I'd play a little more skillfully and go through the things a little faster, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. I guess you probably do get counted different scores for how much time you get, because I think that 3600 score, for starters, it's pretty low compared to the other ones. But also, you know, it's just kind of a weird number to be the maximum, you know, for something that's all or nothing. So, obviously the time limit's 180, but, you know, you'd have like a really low score if you got 175, but you'd have some score. And it's probably like gets higher at maybe 100 or so. I don't know. Okay, so next time it will be expert mode. I'll have unlocked that. So see you then.